Now on Nightside, the future of Spokane cops is in limbo tonight. Community-oriented policing services is being accused of withholding information on their spending while the city decides on their contract.
And a wintry mix coming into the inland northwest. We'll show you where freezing rain could cause slick road conditions.
And the Spokane City Council is considering changing the current property tax model. We'll compare it to what's used now and who this change would impact the most. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. Thanks so much for staying up with us here on your Friday night. I'm Derek Dice. We want to send things straight over to Matt Gray tonight, and it was another slick one out there, Matt.
Yeah, and we talked earlier on previous programs, your neighborhood was pretty icy this morning. A lot of neighborhoods getting icy again. Take a look at this out on the West Plains. Our friends at the National Weather Service office. That is an icy looking parking lot. A lot of the higher benches around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene in the clouds. The fog redeveloping tonight, only adding to the issues of freezing drizzle that we saw again around the region this morning. And we've got more freezing rain on the way. That's just going to cause more of this. Very slick parking lots, sidewalks, and local roads around the inland northwest. In fact, if we head just down the road to Fairchild, this is a live view. You could see that little icy sheen on the highway and the fog adding to the issues. Plus, we're going to add some rain on top of that for the start of Saturday. So overall, looking like a very messy forecast and a messy start to the weekend. You can see there's snow up in BC. We've got a winter mix in. As you head further up the Okanagan, we've got some rain in western Washington. All of this going to move itself into our area through the overnight. And so as you wake up in the morning, as this whole big storm starts to move inland, you are going to wake up to wet weather. The vast majority of us around the inland northwest. So we're going to go through the timeline coming up, what exactly that means and how long we could expect these icy road conditions to stick around. All that coming up soon.
All right, Matt, thank you. Spokane's Community-Oriented Policing Services, or COPS, is still looking to the City Council to extend or renew its contract for next year. But the city is accusing the organization of not being transparent about its finances. Derek Strom spoke with COPS Executive Director about its uncertain future.
Spokane City Council members Jonathan Bingle and Michael Cathcart both agree that there is money in the city's budget to fund Spokane cops, but getting the entire city council to agree to fund the program could be a much more difficult challenge. 3 council members are advocating for the city of Spokane to fund Spokane cops or increase its budget from $500,000 to $800,000. That money could be used to open up more cop shops in neighborhoods across Spokane. Spokane Cops Executive Director says the nonprofit would also consider other funding sources outside of the city to grow its operation.
Now, there is a resolution that is coming forward that would extend the contract for $125,000 for 3 months. But more recently, we've heard that some council members might not even support that because there's $200,000 in the bank.
But a recent statement from the city of Spokane says Mayor Lisa Brown's office has other issues with COPS finances. It says basic information about the nonprofit's financial situation has been difficult to obtain, including the amount of money it has set aside for individual positions. The city of Spokane is still encouraging COPS to apply for its request for proposals process, which begins in a few weeks. But Spokane Cops is concerned the process could take too long and it would use up all of its $200,000 in reserve funding to stay open. In Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
Well, people in Newman Lake will soon pay a lot more for their water. Today, the area's Public Utility Board approved a plan to raise rates by 45%. Right now, the base rate for 1 acre of land is a little over $133 a year, but that will go up to almost $200 in 2025. Many who live in the area are farmers who own several acres of land. The chair for the board of directors told us they voted in favor of increasing the water rate because of inflation and because people aren't paying their bills.
There is a large percentage of delinquencies that we have, which is another problem for a small district.
Moving forward, the board says it will do a rate study to justify the district's needs. Newman Lake residents will see that steep increase in their water bills in the new year. The Spokane City Council wants to spur growth in the city, and to do that, it's exploring the idea of moving on from property taxes and adopting a land value tax model instead. Marissa Rio tells us how your taxes would change.
Imagine owning a fourplex like this one right here on East Wellesley and paying about 10 times more in taxes than the empty lot directly behind you. That's the reality of our property taxes.
If a developer comes in and fixes up a vacant property, or if actually a homeowner even remodels their house, they're actually penalized for that because it increases the total value of their property.
That's why Spokane City Council is exploring taxing the land itself instead.
What land value tax would do is kind of even out the property taxes that different lots pay and make it so that we're not incentivizing vacant lots and we're not punishing investment.
The hope is that by taking on a land value tax model, the city would spur growth. The reason being is because growth would now be incentivized. For example, under a land value tax model, a place as big as the Davenport here would now pay less in taxes. Taxes for parking lots and vacant lots would increase. While this all sounds great, the Spokane County assessor foresees possible issues.
It really goes against state law as it's currently written. Not that that couldn't be changed, but as it's currently written.
City Council is currently working on getting legislation approved so that it can launch a land value tax pilot program. A special taxing district would be created for a certain area of the city, so officials could test the tax model out and see if it makes a difference. In Spokane, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
That's some good news to share. O'Doherty's Irish Grill, Boo Radley's, and Petunia and Loomis all reopened today. These downtown businesses were forced to close after a water line burst on the 7th floor of their building Wednesday, causing water damage on every floor. The businesses worked all of yesterday to clear out the water and repair what they could. Meanwhile, there is still no timeline as for when the 64 people who were displaced from their apartments from that burst water line can return home. Many of them spent the last 2 nights sleeping on cots inside All Saints Lutheran Church in Brown's Addition. Many still in the clothes they were wearing when they were evacuated on Wednesday. They've been waiting for answers as to when they can return home. Late today, though, people staying at the church were driven to a hotel in Spokane Valley where they'll have their own rooms, a shower, and some privacy. One resident told us the company that manages the building, Redwood Housing, will allow them to grab essentials from their apartments like a fresh set of clothes. They also say assessments of the damage could be ready by next week.
Now, Gonzaga versus Kentucky is the marquee basketball game tomorrow, but football season still ain't over yet. With Wazoo off, Eastern Washington season over, all eyes are on Idaho and their second-round FCS playoff game. The Vandals rumble into this game at a 9-3 record. They finished 3rd in the Big Sky Conference and 7th in the final polls, but are now at the 8th seed ahead of their second-round game against the Lehigh Mountain Hawks. Idaho could see a rematch with the #1 seeded Montana State Bobcats with a win and an MSU win over UT Martin tomorrow, but they'll need to get past these 9-3 Mountain Hawks, who knocked off the seeded Richmond Spiders to get to this game. Head coach Jason Eck spoke to the media this week on what he sees out of this matchup.
We got to take care of business this week. We can't look ahead. We got a good Lehigh team that's coming in here, and you'd love to think it's such a great advantage having a team from out east come out here, but hey, we had a team from the Eastern time zone come out and end our season last year. And, it is tricky. And, whether it's Albany or whether it's Lehigh, our players don't have a lot of familiarity with these guys.
It's the team's first meeting since 1993. That was a 77-14 Vandal beatdown, and they'll look to continue that in Idaho's 11th home playoff game all time. Kickoff in Moscow is tomorrow night at 6. That's all the time we have for First Sports. Catch us later in the cast for more ahead of the Zags Wildcats game. I'm Sports Director Jack Wallace in studio, and back to you, Derek.
All right, Jack, thank you. A food bank in Post Falls is working to keep up with a spike in demand.
Not only has it given our clients dignity and choice, but it's also given them the opportunity to be in charge of how they feed themselves.
How their creativity is helping stop stigmas to help normalize their services as food insecurity increases across Idaho.
And it's going to be a busy weekend of weather. Pretty gross forecast for tomorrow with freezing rain and the possibility of some icy roads. Then things get a little wintry on Sunday, but I wouldn't get too excited if you have been hoping for snow. Your forecast coming up.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
4 News Now is brought to you by Visit Downtown Coeur d'Alene this holiday season.
When it comes to your health, Put yourself in the driver's seat. As an older adult, you're at higher risk for severe flu and COVID. In fact, people 65 and older who didn't get last season's vaccines were twice as likely to wind up in the hospital. But you hold the key. Be ready for the road ahead by getting your updated flu and COVID vaccines. Risk less. Do more.
You're ready for a solution to tooth loss, but dentures disappoint and expensive implants aren't for you. A breakthrough option is here. Clear Choice, the #1 provider of fixed full-arch dental implants in the USA, now provides implant dentures that combine the durability and security of implants with the affordability of dentures in an easy, convenient process. Confidently eat the foods you love. A permanent, more secure answer to tooth loss is within reach. Implant dentures, now from Clear Choice. Call or go online to make your appointment today.
It's that time of year again to get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days, where you'll find great offers on a rugged new Passport, Pilot with available all-wheel drive, and the powerful Ridgeline. So don't wait. Turn your holiday dreams into reality with a new Honda named KBB.com's best value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Some know it as prime rib. Officially, it's called a ribeye roast. We call ours divine. Tender, mouth-watering Hereford beef, aged to perfection for 5 weeks and never frozen. Oven ready and easy. Divine beef ribeye roast, tied and seasoned at your request. Reserve yours now, exclusively at Yoke's Fresh Markets.
4 News Now is brought to you by STCU, here for good.
Well, a new report by Hunger Free America reveals that the number of Idahoans experiencing food insecurity has increased 86% over the past 3 years. And local food banks say they're seeing these numbers reflected in the people using their services. Mary Sheridan drove to Post Falls to speak with one food bank that had to expand just to keep up with the increase in demand.
Remodeled it, added a couple thousand square feet up, a new warehouse, and now we're able to kind of manage all the people that need to come in now.
Same name, same street, bigger space. At 3rd Avenue Marketplace, guests can take what food they need from the aisles, just like at a regular grocery store. But here, there's no charge.
It's been wonderful because not only has it given our clients dignity and choice, but it's also given them the opportunity to be in charge of how they feed themselves.
More storage and market space were a necessity to keep up with demand in recent years.
We saw this dramatic spike and we were actually, just spilling out the doors. We had people waiting outside all seasons of the year. It's just too small. We couldn't accommodate everybody who needed help.
In here is the freezer, where 3rd Avenue Marketplace keeps their meat. Their executive director told me they can go through all of this in just 1 week. The nonprofit is completely supported by donations from the community. This could be money, volunteer hours, or food.
We get a lot of people that will donate in October, November, December, and then we kind of get forgotten about. People move on. So we will struggle with getting enough of a variety of foods in here in January, February, March, and even the summer sometimes.
The marketplace is designed to be transitional, a place for people to come when they need help making ends meet. Staff can also direct them to find other resources in the community too.
Resources for energy, electricity, for gas, for their children. There's so many other things that they're not really focusing on because they're thinking of the immediate need for food.
Reporting in Post Falls, Mary Sheridan, 4 News Now.
I really think that's a cool idea, to make it like a marketplace where you can shop for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Matt Gray is here once again, and yeah, we've got some winter weather heading our way, huh?
Oh, boy, and things are looking pretty messy. Definitely an inside, read a book, watch some football kind of day tomorrow.
Hot cup of coffee.
Yeah, hot cup of coffee, because, yeah, it's going to be raining, but yeah, and you're going to have the possibility of ice out on the roads. We've been dealing with that enough already. You can see kind of a shiny parking lot down there at the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. By the way, this crane building the apartments here over downtown is a little Christmas tree right there. Spot that next time you're in the downtown Spokane area. 30 degrees. Temperatures have barely moved throughout the day, really throughout the week. We are going to get some movement, though, this weekend. We are going to end up warming into the upper 30s in the urban corridor. That's going to help us out. We start with freezing rain. We'll transition over to just regular old rain. I think we'll be happy to kind of break out of the ice zone here. Then cooling temperatures and a chance for a little bit of snow heading into Sunday. But first, we start off with that freezing rain, the possibility of more icy roads. It's going to be nasty in many places as we start off Saturday. Winter weather advisory in all these areas you see in the purple, where we are going to have a very good possibility of those icy conditions. Now, I've zoomed in a little bit more, closer into Spokane and Coeur d'Alene and some other areas where things keep showing up in our data consistently, where we're likely to see this ice develop here. So from Medical Lake on I-90 down into the Sprague area, this is one spot we're going to be kind of keeping an eye on, and you should definitely slow down if you have any plans there for tomorrow. From Davenport into Reardon, into places around Fairchild, and then almost all the way out to Grand Coulee. That's where we're also going to be looking for some ice as well along Highway 2. Then on the other side, you head towards Newport to Sandpoint. Same on Highway 2. Pend Oreille County, parts of 395 near the Loon Lake area. All spots that keep coming up in our data where we could end up seeing a significant amount of icy road conditions. So everybody just either hang out for the morning, wait till things get a little bit better, or just calm down and make sure that we're doing things very carefully as this system rolls through. As you can see, it's pretty much all rain, hopefully not too much of the freezing variety in your neighborhood as we go through the day. It's going to be wet pretty much the entirety of the day, especially in North Idaho. Then as we head into Sunday, another round of moisture and a little bit of snow moving in. So you can see we'll have perhaps a dusting, especially in the panhandle as we start off our day. And we'll see scattered snow showers then continue on for the rest of Sunday, eventually tapering out in the evening. Snow amounts, not looking impressive at all. If you get a little dusting up to around a ½ an inch, I'd say you've done a good job. Many places in eastern Washington will not even get that close. So not a winter wonderland. Maybe we'll have better luck if you're hoping for some snow to help brighten up your holiday display Thursday into Friday, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We have a chance for a little bit of sun Sunday and Monday, but then, Derek, we're going back into the clouds and into the gloom, and this time of year, you never know when we're going to break out of that again.
Right. But even if you get to see the sun for a little bit, it's something. Right?
It's well worth it.
All right. Matt, thank you. Well, the state board that oversees tuition costs in Washington just decided to raise costs at community colleges. We checked in with schools in our area that will be affected.
Later on Nightline, the urgent manhunt widening for the gunman who brazenly killed a health insurance CEO in New York City. The major piece of evidence and what it might reveal. Plus, celebrity lookalike contests going viral.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
This Christmas, treat yourself or a loved one to a new vehicle from Findlay.
With delayed payments until February 1st and bigger than normal trade-in values for your old ride, giving you plenty of reasons to upgrade to a new Toyota RAV4 or Tacoma or Tundra truck, or get closeout savings on the all-new all-wheel drive Camry or Prius.
We've got lots of great choices for everyone.
I'm looking for something sporty and fast.
Don't you have somewhere to be?
Ho, ho, ho! Hey there, Spokane and Post Falls. Are you ready to give your home a floor lift? At Brothers Flooring, we turn boring into beautiful. Whether you're looking for some elegant hardwood for the living room or kitchen, or some plush new carpet for the bedroom, or maybe some sleek modern tiles for the bathroom. At Brothers Flooring, we say life's too short for boring floors. So give us a call today and we'll make your floors the life of the party.
We aren't just HVAC specialists. We're a Lennox premier dealer. That means we offer the most energy-efficient products on the market, with savings you can see and perfect air you can feel. Your comfort is our passion, and we're with you every breath of the way. Enjoy greater comfort and lower energy costs. Call us today and save on Lennox with special incentives and rebates.
Call Norco Heating and Air today.
Sometimes
Sometimes life is a funny way of turning sideways. Like when your kid decides they're a professional stylist the morning of picture day. Or when your to-do list isn't quite done.
You went to Rite Aid, right?
Or when you're sure you packed everything you need, but you actually need one more thing.
We forgot our prescriptions.
We
got you.
Are we happy? We are happy. Find everything you need?
Yep. Yeah, life never really goes the way you plan, but that's why we're here. It means more at Rite Aid.
Sports on 4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Well, with the new year quickly approaching, lawmakers in Olympia will meet up once again to shape new laws and policies for Washington. And Monday marked the first day they could pre-file bills. Some of those bills include another push to ditch daylight savings time. The legislature approved a law in 2019 to put the state on permanent daylight saving time, but Congress needs to approve a federal policy before it can take effect. A new bill would make it so Washington is on permanent standard time, and this does not require federal approval. Other bills include topics like immigration, a fentanyl policy, and a new independent agency to keep an eye on local jails. There's no guarantee any of these pre-filed bills will receive a hearing, so we'll just have to wait and see. The legislative session officially kicks off on January 13th. To read more on any of these bills, you can head to our website at KXLY.com. Well, community college students across Washington will see a slight increase in their tuition next year. The board that oversees them just approved a 3.3% hike on tuition last month. While the agency prides itself on the affordable education it offers, it says these changes are necessary as our nation continues to deal with inflation. The 3.3% increase will result in around $54 more in tuition per quarter, or just over $160 per year.
It's to help support the programs and services that we can offer to students. Costs are going up at our colleges, and for us to be able to continue to offer the programs and services to get students through on time and offer them high-quality programs, this tuition increase helps support that.
Community Colleges of Spokane says this is expected to bring an additional $800,000 to their budget, which they plan to use on operational costs. They also recommend everyone fills out a FAFSA form to see what aid you qualify for. Chrysler is recalling 315,000 trucks due to issues with the brakes. The hydraulic control units can fail, increasing the risk of a crash. Affected vehicles are 2017 and 2018 model year Dodge Ram 2500, 35, 45, and 5500s. Dealers will fix the issue free of charge. Notification letters are expected to be mailed to owners in the second week of January. All right, we're less than 24 hours away from the battle in Seattle. Sydney Berger previews the big game between Gonzaga and Kentucky next in sports.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by STCU and Volunteers Count.
Woohoo! The Bengals and the boys on a special Monday night. Excellent. Nothing like Big D in prime time. Seriously? Say one nice thing about Dallas around here. Need to focus on Joe Cool and that offensive arsenal. Or will America's team silence the haters like...
Shop the Valley. We're packaged perfectly. From unique family-owned shops to your favorite national brand stores, Spokane Valley has it all. Enjoy ample free parking, a diverse array of shopping options, and a family-friendly atmosphere. This holiday season, shop the Valley.
Today, Grady turns 1. Already he plans to wrestle alligators, try his hand at the culinary arts, and explore the world. With Dream Ahead College Investment Plan, you can start saving for their future anywhere in the country. Don't borrow your children's future, build it at 529.wa.gov.
These are real people seeking solutions to real pain.
I have plantar fasciitis.
My feet, my knees, hips, and back.
And then they were fit with Good Feet arch supports. Clinically proven. Significant pain relief in only 4 weeks.
I'm not feeling any pain. My heel, that's where I always feel it.
Pressure off your knees?
Yeah, actually. I didn't notice any pain in my back. I feel like I could walk all day in these.
Take back the life you love and book your personalized arch support fitting today.
Shop the Valley. We're packaged perfectly. From unique family-owned shops to your favorite national brand stores, Spokane Valley has it all. Enjoy ample free parking, a diverse array of shopping options, and a family-friendly atmosphere. This holiday season, shop the Valley.
We are under 24 hours from Gonzaga and Kentucky squaring off of the battle in Seattle. Our sports reporter Sydney Berger has more on what this game means for the players from the area to get a homecoming.
We're looking at a top 10 matchup in more ways than one. Not only are Gonzaga and Kentucky both ranked in the AP top 10, but also top 10 in the net rankings, and both teams have top 10 scoring offenses in the entire country. So it's no doubt going to be a shootout here at Climate Pledge Arena on Saturday. Kentucky might be coming in extra hot as the Wildcats are coming off its first loss of the season, but a couple of the Zags might have some extra firepower with this hometown visit. Nolan Hickman and Mike Lejayi are both Western Washington natives who say having a fan club of family and friends at Climate Pledge will only ease the nerves and provide some extra motivation.
Man, I'm just in the backyard, and a whole bunch of my family, my friends, and everything, they could just be there and watch me play. So that's probably the biggest thing about it, yeah.
It's just going to be good for them to just watch me play in person finally, and, you know, it's going to be a great event, and I can't wait to put on the show.
A win against Kentucky would be huge for Gonzaga's tournament resume, as the Wildcats have some of the richest tournament history in all of D1 basketball. The Bulldogs are hoping for a big win on that big stage. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock on Saturday right here at Climate Pledge Arena. Reporting in Seattle, Sydney Berger, 4 News Now Sports.
Very much, Sydney. And Wazoo has been through a whirlwind in the past year, putting it lightly. Really, all of college football has, from the Pac-12 teams scattering to new conferences, the transfer portal, seeing almost 3,000 players enter. That's almost a quarter of all scholarship football student athletes. It's been a game of catch-up in the wild west of pigskin. Head coach Jake Dickert spoke to the media today on how he sees the transfer portal affect both him and the team.
You know, but it's just tough at the end of the day when you find a kid, you offer them, you're the only big school to do that. Once you develop them, you know, people come down and do some things with that. So we're just in a weird place at college football. It's not just happening to us. It's happening all the way around the country. And at some point, we got to get some real guardrails on building teams.
The Cougs have built their team up to an impressive 8-4 record despite that late season skid. This puts them in the position for a solid bowl game like the Holiday or Vegas Bowl, and they'll find out their postseason destination this Sunday afternoon. We've reached the conclusion of the final half of games, or first half of games, in the final Fitz tournament organized by Hoop Fest. And on the girls' side, Snohomish beats Ridgeline in a defensive battle 35-28, and Gonzaga Prep downs West Lynn from Oregon in a 60-55 win. For the boys' side, Kentwood beat Meade 87-70, and Skyview slammed a hammer on the host Lewis and Clark 64-41. Tomorrow, the games start off real early. Ridgeline plays West Lynn at 9 a.m. Gonzaga Prep versus Snohomish at 10:30 a.m. Then Meade against Skyview at noon, and Lewis and Clark facing Kentwood at 1:30. Back to you, Derek.
All right, Jack, thank you. Well, the rolling hills of the Palouse are known for its endless wheat fields and spectacular sunsets, but it's also home to a historic railroad bridge. In tonight's Air 4 adventure, we take you just south of Roselia, where some of those bridges have sat for more than a century.
The Milwaukee Road Bridge has stood on the edge of town for more than 100 years. The rumble of trains that once crossed it faded into history more than 40 years ago. Built in 1915, it replaced the original wood trestle and has a very unique design for a railroad bridge. The Milwaukee Road used the concrete arch design because it had to cross over a rival railroad and the state highway. The bridge is actually two spans, one consisting of one arch over what is now the Spokane-Spangle-Palouse Railway. The other has four arches over Pine Creek and what is now Roselia Road, formerly Highway 195. You can take an adventure of your own across the bridge now. It's part of the Palouse to Cascades Trail State Park. The trail can be accessed at several spots on the outskirts of Roselia. In all, the trail is 250 miles long, It's good for hiking, mountain biking, and watching for birds or other wildlife. From above the Palouse, Brian Neal, 4 News Now.
This week, Elton John, exclusive. From his incredible career to his battles with addiction to how he's doing now.
I'm still standing after all this time.
I'm still standing, and I am better than I ever did.
Only on
Good Morning, America.
Wow.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
At Numerica, you'll find money answers for loud sneezers. Gesundheit. Get money answers for you and only you. Learn more at numericacu.com.
Life's busy. Off is not an option. You need to be on. On time, on the go, on the call, or just ready to play on. Life's waiting. Power on with Batteries Plus. Visit one of over 700 locations today.
When it comes to your health, put yourself in the driver's seat. As an older adult, you're at higher risk for severe flu and COVID. In fact, people 65 and older who didn't get last season's vaccines were twice as likely to wind up in the hospital. But you hold the key. Be ready for the road ahead by getting your updated flu and COVID vaccines. Risk less. Do more.
Sam, since this is your first Get Holiday Ready sales event, let me introduce you to the full lineup of Ford SUVs. Keep it festive, Morgan.
How fun.
That's Blake and Bailey. They're our Bronco experts.
Goat modes goes over any type of terrain.
And of course, Ford F-Series, best-selling trucks for 47 years. The Get Holiday Ready sales event.
Chills.
Get 1.9% APR for 60 months, plus no payments for up to 90 days and $1,000 bonus cash on a new F-150.
Batteries Plus has the national scale for all your power needs and a dedicated expert for the local support you want. Power on with Batteries Plus Business.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Well, one Spokane nonprofit wants to make sure every kid can enjoy the magic of Christmas. The largest lantern display in the Pacific Northwest, also known as Northwest Winterfest, is back. Larger-than-life lanterns showcase holiday favorites like Santa Claus, Christmas trees, and more. Co-organizer Sam Song made the festival accessible to everyone, making sure that no kid gets left in the dark.
As a nonprofit, we want to make this such a special experience for kids. So kids 10 and under are all free to come over to enjoy this festival.
I love Sam's enthusiasm for this. The festival is open every weekend until New Year's Eve at the Spokane Fair and Expo Center. For more information on tickets, you can head to our website, kxly.com.
And why not have a bunch of lights when you're struggling to get 9 hours of daylight?
Right.
Tell you what, it definitely helps things out. Okay, for tomorrow morning in our weather, boy, not looking great. If you can stay at home, relax, watch the rain fall, that would probably be a good idea. Everywhere in the purple has a chance for freezing rain. Here is your weekend forecast. Freezing rain. As temperatures warm, we'll start to see that threat go away. And then a chance for a couple of snow showers at times on Sunday. Once again, not expecting much accumulation. Whether you like that or not is up to you, and everyone's opinion's a little different.
Of course. All right, here's an interesting story to end our newscast. A new scientific paper says the ancient ancestors of Native Americans ate a lot of mammoths. Scientists have known the Clovis people were skilled hunters who could kill mammoths. Now they say those woolly beasts made up about a third of their diet, along with elk, bison, and camel. That finding came from looking at the chemical remnants of food left in the stomach of an 18-month-old child who was still nursing, so scientists could look at his mother's diet, too. The research came from a team of American and Canadian scientists. Kind of interesting, right?
Okay.
I think good.